Good afternoon to my viewers. Welcome to another Principals Hour with your principal, Jermaine Harris, right here at Kellett High School in Northern Clarendon. We are indeed happy to know that you would have scheduled this to be a part of your calendar, that on a weekly basis, you take the time out to join us here at Kellett High School to find out what is happening in terms of the operations. Indeed, we are glad to know that we're still alive. We want to give God all the glory and honor that belongs to Him. He has been very good to us, even in this pandemic, and we must give Him all the praise and honor. Last week, we were not able to join you live because of some circumstances beyond our control. But this week, we make it our point of duty to be live with our friends on Facebook as well as our friends on YouTube. So wherever you are, please tell your friends to that your principal is on with his principal's hour, and we seek to engage you in this 1 hour or so as we bring you up to date with happenings right here at Kellett High School. So welcome again. I hope that you are hearing me loud and clear. I want to thank my producer, Mr. Kamar Chambers, for making this broadcast possible. And we have a packed program lineup, and we hope that you will stay tuned. We also ask that you will send your questions later on as it relates to any concerns that you have re the operations at Kellett High School. So welcome and welcome again. So COVID-19 concerns is pretty much upon us as a country, and I want to start there. We have seen a positivity rate of around 10% or so over the last 2 weeks, and this has raised many concerns. Indeed, for us as a school, for us as a community, for us as a nation. And as a school, we are indeed concerned because we have seen many of schools that are open face-to-face would have been asked to close based on positivity rate. But we at Kellett High, we are not in that position, but we are very much concerned about what is happening nationally. So the JTA pretty much has responded, and they have suggested that schools should be closed for this period. But the Ministry of Education believe that school can still be open. So here at Kellett High School, we still have face-to-face classes, but for a small group, very small group. And we continue to tune into the many bulletins that will come from the Ministry of Education. We continue to tune into the nation's newscast and to listen out in terms of what should we do going forward with this pandemic. So we at Kellett High School, we are pretty much concerned. We continue to share with our stakeholders. We continue to consult with our board of management, our teachers, our parents, and we will definitely inform you if there are any changes as it relates to face-to-face classes. So I just want to start the program by putting that out there, that we are very much concerned about the number of positive cases. Yesterday, over 400 and odd persons were diagnosed with the coronavirus. And indeed, the cases keeps rising. I want to say to my viewers that we need to bear this in mind, and we need to take all the necessary safety precautions to protect ourselves and our families. So it is really a concern. All right, so wherever you are, I know that you're concerned as well, and we will do everything that is within our powers to make sure that your students, once they come to school, they are protected. So we have put in a lot of resources. We have put in a lot of manpower. And to date, we can say that things are pretty much good at school. But when they leave school is another issue that we are very much concerned about. So I want to start the program pointing out to my viewers that the coronavirus is pretty much escalating the positive rate, and we must play our part to safeguard ourselves. So as it relates to face-to-face classes, we resumed on February 8th, as was announced by your principal, that we would have resumed face-to-face classes. So we resumed on February 8th. We would have welcomed back 92 students from grade 11, 92 out of approximately 140 students. So approximately out of 140 students, 92 students came back for face-to-face classes. That's for grade 11. And for grade 12 and 13, we had 30 students out of approximately 50 for the total cohort. So there are some students who still did not take the opportunity to return to face-to-face classes for one reason or the other. But for the 7 days that we would have resumed, we have seen an increase in the number of students versus those who were coming online. So it is a positive result for us, but we are concerned that the cases are rising, and we will be reviewing each day. Yes, we have said each week, but each day we will review the developments as it relates to the positivity rate. And if we believe that the need is for us to close classes face to face, we will do so, because we don't want to put our teachers and students at any serious risk of contracting this virus. So each day we will review as senior management, and we will determine what we do going forward. So tomorrow, classes will resume. Yes, classes will resume for grades 11, 12, and 13. That is face-to-face. And for grades 7 to 10, classes will resume online. I know there are a lot of parents and students who have been asking when their grades will be coming in face-to-face. I can say to you categorically that we're not considering taking any more grades at this time, based on the uptick in the number of positive cases. We are more seeking to revert to online. But if that is the case, we will let you know in due course. But right now, we will accept grades 11, 12, and 13 for face-to-face, and we will review the situation each day. So I want you to listen to me carefully, because some of the times I say things and then you misquote me. So let me say that again. We are going to resume tomorrow with grades 11, 12, and 13, and we will assess on a daily basis in terms of what is happening nationally, what is happening within the community. There are rumors spreading that the case count in the Kellits area is increasing. And as I said, rumors, because we do not get any scientific and any categorical data to say this is true. But as soon as the Ministry of Health would have advised us that it is unsafe to have face-to-face classes, then we will go back to online. But right now, we have not received any information from the Ministry of Health or the Ministry of Education stating that we should close school. So we will have face-to-face classes for those 3 grades. All right, so let me just give you a little assessment as it relates to what would have obtained over those 7 days. I want to commend the parents who make the sacrifices to send those students out. There are still some who we are trying to make contact with to see what would have happened, why they did not take up the face-to-face opportunity, especially those students who would have paid for their subjects. So we have seen where students would have paid for CSEC and CAPE subjects, but they did not take up the opportunity to come face to face. We are saying to those parents, please make the effort to send out those students so that they can at least complete their SBAs, they can complete their labs, they can complete their practicals, so that if we have to revert to straight online classes, then we would have gotten those out of the way, and then we can focus on just the whole theoretical, the notes part. So please make the effort to send out those students who have not started face-to-face classes tomorrow. For those who would have started, we ask that you continue. We ask that you practice all the safety protocols. We have seen where students are wearing masks at school, but as soon as they leave school, they take off the mask. And that is a real concern for us. And this is not just with Kellett High School students. This is a situation with the citizens of Jamaica on a general basis. When you walk the streets of Kellett, you can count on one or two hands the number of persons who are wearing masks, but the majority are not wearing masks. And this is symptomatic of the problem that we are having, where our students, we are able to protect them at school based on the protocols, because they will have to wear their mask, they will have to do their temperature checks, they will have to sanitize, they'll have to wash their hands, and the list goes on. But when they are on the streets, or when they're at home, or when they're in the taxi, we're not seeing the same behavior pattern being practiced. So we're encouraging parents, we're encouraging students to practice these protocols wherever you are, for your safety, for your family safety. You may not develop symptoms. You may be asymptomatic based on your immune system or based on your body system. However, you may just bring this virus home, and then your grandparents, who may have some form of underlying issue, may contract the virus and may not be as fortunate as you. So we're encouraging, yes, I want to reiterate it. I want to emphasize and encourage students that when you leave school, please continue to wear your mask. Before you come to school, we're asking that you also wear your mask so that you can protect yourselves and your family. We have seen somewhat of a misconception, because we have so much social media among us in this 21st century. There are so many conspiracy theorists who are putting out information about COVID, and then persons are believing these fake news over the fact. And as a result of that, they do not take these protocols serious. So that is why we're seeing an uptick in this case count. And I'm saying to Kellett High School family, parents, students, all stakeholders, let us take it serious, because we want to make sure that we have face-to-face classes as long as possible, especially for the CSEC and the CAPE students. All right. So again, face-to-face classes will continue, and I'm just giving you an assessment based on what happened over the last 7 days. You know that last week was a short week. We went on midterm, Ash Wednesday, and our students would have gotten a break. It should not be a break for CSEC and CAPE students. They know that they have to continue to put in the work even though school is not formally in operation, but they must take the exam serious because they have exams to do come June, July. As it relates to online classes will continue for grades 7 to 10. This is a very sore point for us at Kelly's High School. Many of our students are not coming online. There are teachers who are very frustrated because they are in their classes and they are saying to me, principal, sometimes I am the only person in my class. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two. And we are really having a major problem as it relates to online classes. I know that there are some parents who made the effort to get their children online, and I want to commend you for that. And I'm saying continue because online classes are here to stay, even post COVID. I don't know when that will be, but after COVID, online classes will remain. So we want parents to develop this behavioral pattern to accept this form of teaching because it is here to stay with us. So we're saying for those who are not able to get on for whatever reason, maybe you're not even hearing me now because maybe you're not tuning in, but for those persons who are actually tuning in, I am asking you and requesting of you to share the words and to encourage other parents to take the online platform serious. I know that there are some parents who are genuinely unable to get online. We are saying to those parents, come to the school, talk to us, let us have the conversation. Let us see if we can find a way to assist you. Maybe it's to get you a device. If we're able to, we will try to source. Maybe it's to get some data, whatever it is. We may not be able to get you the device or get you the connectivity, but we may be able to give you a workbook or maybe able to give you some printed materials, whatever it is. We're saying do not stay away. We want all of our students, 850 students, based on the last count that I did at Kelly's High School. We have about 850 students. We want all students to be online or face-to-face, whichever it is. So we're saying if you're not able to get on for whatever reason, you need to visit the school. We are about halfway in the school year, and we have not able to reach some students. And it is a real concern of us because those students will be left behind. They're going to be behind. And when they move to the next grade level, they're going to be at a serious disadvantage. So we are asking my viewers to share the word. You may know parents of students who are not getting on. We're saying share the word so we can. All right, we'll take the questions after, Mr. Chambers. So just hold that for the question and answer section. Kanisha will answer you after. I'm just sharing some information with you re online classes. Also, as it relates to online classes, we're asking parents who may not be able to assist their children to form some alliance, get some assistance from some relatives or some friends, some neighbors, or reach out to the teachers. Try find someone to assist you with the schoolwork because as it relates to online, most of the times the teacher may not be there synchronously. In other words, when the child comes on, yes, it may be after the teacher session, but there may be some activities left in the classroom for you to do. You may not understand. We are saying, try find some help. Try get someone to help you to see if you can help your children to access whatever learning activity would have been uploaded in the Google Classroom. All right, it is not normal times. It is not easy. It is difficult for all of us, but we have to find a way out to work around it or through it or over it. But we cannot allow the pandemic and the current situation to get the better of us. We have to find a way to manipulate it and to do well because life still has to go on. All right. We always hear the Prime Minister say that you have to balance lives with livelihood because things have to go on based on what is happening in our country. So we're asking parents to pay some more attention to this online platform. All right, so that your child is not left behind. So that is it for online reminders. We're also reminding those students in grade 10 that the CSEC curriculum really starts at grade 10. We're currently discussing the possibility of bringing in those students maybe on a staggered basis. You will hear more about that, but based on the positivity rate, really COVID, we're somewhat reluctant to bring in more students. But I'll be discussing with my vice principals and my board and senior management to see if we can bring in some of those grade 10s to start their practicals and to get out some of the work that they needed for the CSEC curriculum. So you will hear more about that. But for the time being, we're saying to those grade 10 students, try to get online. At least if you're in grade 7 to 9, you may have an opportunity to catch up. But for those in grade 10, your grade 10 is almost complete. And you know that the curriculum is a 2-year curriculum. So we want you to get online as much as possible. All right. Another thing that I want to talk to you about as it relates to SBAs, I would have said this to you on several occasions, that SBA is very much important, is a vital part of the final outcome for a student doing CSEC and CAPE. For CSEC, they refer to school-based assessments, and for CAPE, they refer to it as internal assessments. But in a nutshell, it is basically an assessment that the students would do before they go into the external exam. So before they go to write that paper, they would do a assessment. They would do some work before, whether it is a research or whether it's a lab or whether they're going to make something. Or I know like for home economics, they would do their food practical and so on. And those activities that they would do prior to writing the paper would make up a part of the overall exam grade. Now, I am getting reports that a number of students have not started the SBA or the IE as yet. And this is a real concern for us at Kelly High School as well. We have gotten a list and we have asked the person in charge of SBA to call the parents. So we are currently calling parents to find out why Mary have not started the SBA. And we are getting some reluctance from parents in terms of giving us the information. What is causing your child not to start the SBA? What is causing your child not to do the practical? We need to hear from you because we don't want to wait until the deadline has passed. Because there's going to be a deadline for SBA submission. And after that deadline, your children will not be able to submit those grades any longer. What is going to happen? You're going to get an ungraded score. So when CSEC or CAPE would have published the final grades, you're going to see you beside that subject if you do not complete the SB on time. So I want to emphasize that, parents, if your child would have paid for CSEC, yes. There you have to find out if that subject carry a SBA component. And if it does, you need to reach out to your teachers, yes, if you are struggling with this SBA aspect, so that your teachers can assist you in completing it on time. Because if you go into the final exam, so when you go to write that paper and you maximize, say you get 40 out of 40 for that maths SB or for that English SB or for that social studies SB, you're on your way to get a good score. You know that 1 to 3, range 1 to 3, those are the pass marks. Yes? And many students who receive a 3, their SBA most times are not good. They get a low score for their SBA. So even if they go into the exam and they do well on that final paper that they have to write, and their SBA score is low, they tend to come out with a range 2 or a range 3 when they could get a range 1. So please speak to your children about the SBA. Some of them are not interested. We have called some of them and they are not showing any interest. You know, you, the parents, must show the interest. You know why? It is your investment. You are the ones who paid for these subjects. Well, I know some of them the government would have paid for them, and that is another sore point. I really have a concern with that, but I have to go based on what the Ministry of Education said. But there are many students, because these exams are paid for by the government, many of them do not take them seriously. There are a number of students who do not turn up even for the exams. They don't do the SBA because guess what? It is free money, so to speak. But just remind them that it is not free money, it is taxpayers' money. And the government would have seen it fit to invest the money in them because they may not be able to afford it. So I'm asking parents to take these exams seriously. Once the child would have paid for the subject or they would have received the subject based on the ministry payment plan, you need to encourage them to take it seriously. All right? It's an indictment leaving high school after 5 years and you don't leave with the required number of subjects, at least 5 subjects, including maths and English. Each child should seek to attain at least 5, including maths and English. So if you're having challenges with SBA, IA is for the CAPE students. Those students tend to be more responsible. We might have 1 or 2 that we have challenges with, but most times, because they would have gone through the CXC process already, they tend to take the IAs more seriously because of their maturity and experience. But we still have 1 and 2 that we're having challenges with, and we'll be reaching out to the parents to inform them so that we can help those students to complete their SBAs and IAs. All right, so we look at face-to-face classes, we look at online classes, we look at SBAs. Also, I want to bring to your attention the mid-year exams. The mid-year exams would have started early February. All right, would have started the first week in February for mid-year exams. And we decided to have those exams for 3 weeks. However, based on consultations with the teachers, we have decided to leave the exams on the Google Classroom for the entire year. Yes, so the exams will be there. So if your child did not get an opportunity to sit those exams, the exams will be there for them to go on and to complete and to submit to their teachers. Because of this online phenomenon, we know that some students may not even join in as yet, as it relates to Google Classroom. We don't want to put them at a disadvantage. So we're going to leave the assessments up there. So once they would have covered the notes, covered the activities, they can now go take the assessment, submit it to their teachers, Their teachers will give them feedback. There are some assessments that are marked online, so you get a feedback right away, and so on. So those exams, those test items will be in the Google Classrooms for the entire year, and you can go and take those assessments. However, I want to encourage parents and students to try to complete these assessments from memory. We are seeing students who may not do well in class, they are scoring 100% and they are doing excellent in these assessments. And we theorize that these students are using the Google and the notes and so on to help them to complete these exams. We know that the validity of these exams may not be what we want it to be, because you really don't have anybody invigilating you. So you're doing it within your time and within your space. And therefore, we know that some students might be tempted to use the notes and to use other sources to complete these questions. We are encouraging students to use your memory, try to play fair, try to do it fairly so that it will help you, because the teachers want to use these assessments to gauge your understanding of these concepts. So if they taught you a concept, say on algebra, and they give you questions, read the concept algebra, and you go on YouTube or Google and you type in the question and you get the answers and you complete it. Yes, you're just fooling yourself. Let me just put it that way. All right, because you will get it right, but do you really understand that concept? So if you get it in CXC, yes, when you're under exam conditions, will you be able to complete it successfully? So we're saying, please try to answer these things based on memory. So based on your understanding, if you don't understand it, fine, the teachers will have to reteach. I will have to find another way to assist you to understand. But if you indicate to the teacher that you understand, the teacher will move on. Yes, the teacher will move on because the teacher is of the opinion that you do understand these concepts. So if you don't understand it, it is best to indicate to your teachers so that they find other medium through which to engage you so that you can understand these concepts. All right, so I'm just appealing to your conscience that when you're sitting these assessments, you try to do it to the best of your ability so that you will be better equipped when you're in an exam condition. Yes, because you may be asked to go back face to face. The teacher will give you a makeup exam. You would have received 100 on the online, and then face to face, it's a different thing. The teacher will know that you cheated. So we're asking you to try to do it to the best of your ability without using other sources. All right, students, parents, you too need to encourage them to do this as well, because it is for their betterment. Coming up this week, before I get to your question and answers, coming up this week, we have Jamaica Day, and Jamaica Day will be this Friday, February 26th. So it will be online for some classes. So for those classes, grades 7 to 10, especially, will be online. We'll be having your virtual Jamaica Day. Yes, you're going to be creative. You're going to go to your online classes in your Jamaican colors, and so that we can observe the day. We may not be at school, but we can still have our Jamaica Day at home, and we still observe the day. But for those students who will be coming to school face to face, we want you to wear your Jamaican colors. We'll be having some activities online as well as face to face. So our cultural agent, Mrs. Newby Dunstan, will be having some activities, and those will be shared with the students. You'll be asked to do some video recording in terms of you singing some reggae music, and you're going to upload those and you can win prizes and so on. So you will hear more about those from your form teachers and your subject teachers in the ensuing days, so that we can have a big culmination Friday with Jamaica Day. All right, so basically, those are the things that I want to bring to your attention. Um, I want to share with you about the principles hour after, but I'll take some questions at this time. Mr. Chambers, do we have any questions there from my viewers? I'll just take those before I continue. I think one came up earlier. Good afternoon, Mr. Harris. Should the grades 10 come out for face-to-face this Monday? Tanisha, no. Grade 10 is still online. We will inform you and the others as soon as we make that determination. But right now, the cases are increasing. We don't want to take in any more students at this time. As I said, over the 7 days, we had 92 and 30. That's 122 students. But based on how the timetable is scheduled right now, we don't have all those students at one time. All right. So we don't want to take in any more students right now, Tanisha. So grades 10, all the grade 10s will remain online for the meantime. Just want to bring to your attention, as I made mention about the timetable. The COVID timetable that we would have designed for grades 11, 12, and 13, and I would have shared those with the parents and students. The students come in at varying times. We are encouraging parents and the students not to come in before your assigned time. So if you're assigned to come in at 10, please don't come at 9 or 8 because you will not be allowed on the campus. We have a number of students that we have to ask to stay under a tent. We have a tent, a big tent at the front of the campus, and they have to remain there for sometimes 1 hour because if your teacher is not at school, we will not allow you on campus. So we're saying come close to your assigned time. So if you have a 9 o'clock class, you can come like 8:50. All right, but don't come from 8 o'clock because you will not be allowed to go on campus. You see, based on the fact that we don't have many persons on to supervise you, we can't let you on. So please don't send them to early, parents, if they don't have any classes. There are some days that they only have one class. We have to come for that class and then go home. And when you're going home, please wear your mask. I want to stress that. Wear your mask before, during class, and after class. Because based on the Ministry of Health and all over the world, the best way to protect ourselves against this virus is by wearing our masks. All right? Any more questions there? My viewers, do you have any more questions? You can send it in. Sir, when will grade 7, 8, 9, 10 be going? Seems as if, all right, let me just go back through that. I have been saying it, but seems like I'm not learning anything online. Java, is that Java Wilson? I do empathize with you, my son or daughter, not sure. I do empathize with you. I know that online we weren't socialized, we weren't cultured to learn online. So it is a new behavior that we have to develop. And I know that it is difficult for you. However, we do not have any alternative at this time. We really don't. We are in a health crisis and we have to follow the guidelines from the Ministry of Health. So I know that you may not be learning. I don't know what would be the concern you want to share with me, why you're not learning. Are you not able to get on, or you're not understanding when you teach online? What is the problem? Share with me some more, Wilson. Why are you not learning? Let me see if I can guide you through that. All right. Any more questions? You can share some more, Wilson. Let us find out why you're not learning, because you will not be able to come face to face at this time if you're not in grade 11, 12, or 13. All right. Sasha, Sir, can teachers from other schools use the internet on the school grounds? Um, Sasha, no, you see, the school, we have to keep the internet reserved for our teachers and our students. So we would not be able to accommodate teachers from other schools. No. So that would not be um, possible. No. Sir, it's more complicated. Yes. Yeah, the lessons are more complicated, but I think your teachers would be trying to use like Google Meet, where they can engage you, just like what I'm doing now. Your teacher should be able to go online, and if you're online, you can ask questions. And then there are some students who tell me that they love online because the teachers can upload so many different activities in the Google Classroom. So when the teacher actually discuss those things on Google Meet, they can now go back to the activities in the classroom and they can have more explanation being done. So I'm not sure what happened, Wilson. Most of the time, I'm not understanding the word. All right. Maybe you need to, Wilson, pay me a visit at school. Please come and see me at school so we can sit with you and we can work out some way forward. Please do. Please come to school. You're not allowed to come face to face, but you can come. You come and speak to your principal so we can have a sit down and find out how best we can help you. All right? Because we don't want you to have those complications. All right, Wilson? All right, good. Any other question there, Sir Chambers? My viewers, I encourage you to send your questions, send your comments at this time. Before I move into, you can come any day between the hours of 9 and 3, any day, Monday to Fridays, between the hours of 9 and 3. Just come, tell the security that you're coming to talk to your principal, and we see if we can work out something with you. All right, Wilson? Thank you for tuning in, and at least you made the effort to tune in to Principal's Hour. All right, good. All right, as it relates to Principal's Hour, we have another 15 minutes or so. When I started this program, the objective was basically to interface and to engage all my stakeholders, including parents and students and teachers, past students, friends of KHS in general. But because things have scaled down at school, we don't have much operations face to face, mainly it's online. Some of the times it's very difficult to maintain a weekly program. So in consultation with my producer, Mr. Chambers, we have decided to have a monthly principals hour. So it is going to be the last Sunday of each month. So let me repeat that. Because of the scale down in activities and to maintain a weekly program, for the time being, we will have a monthly principals hour. So we will give you a summary of the monthly activity and operations at school at the end of the month. So starting March, principals hour will be held the last Sunday. Now, if we have information to share via Facebook, we will share it via the school's Facebook page. That's Kelly's High School Facebook page. So we will not leave you out without an opportunity for you to share your concerns or your questions. We also have our WhatsApp groups. We have WhatsApp groups for grades, for all the grades. So you can always send me your questions and concerns there as well. But in terms of the program where we broadcast live, it will be once per month, and that will be the last Sunday of each month, starting March. Okay, so I just want to bring that to your attention so that you can make the change if necessary. And sometimes it's very taxing as well, to have a program each Sunday. So we are trying to conserve based on ourselves, as well as to give you an opportunity to be fully engaged, and that the program will have more substance and more meaning. So when we are coming live, we have more things to share with you rather than just the same each Sunday. So starting March, we will be rebranding. We will have heads of departments coming on. We will be doing video presentation of each department. So you will know what is happening in the maths department, what's happening in English department, the home economics, the visual arts department. You will know what is happening in the P department, the business and computing, and all the different departments at Kelly's High School. The agriculture will be broadcasting what is happening in those departments. We'll be bringing on retired principals, retired teachers. We want to do more with this program, and that is why we are going to take a weekly break, and we're going to have a monthly program instead. All right, hope you do understand, and you will work with us at Kelly's High School as we seek to bring information to you and to keep you informed. Okay. All right. So my viewers, any questions? Curly Hines, I'm going to miss it. I look forward. All right, Miss Hines, I know you. Yes, so one of my viewers are going to miss it. We're going to try to see if we can come on, but as I said, it is very taxing. Yes, to talk for 1 hour is not that easy, Curly, and to do it weekly. You know, when you start out a program, to sustain it at times is a bit difficult, and I know that you look forward to it. But based on the trend and based on the consultation and how we want to evolve and let this program evolve, we want to take it to a monthly program rather than a weekly. All right. But in case something comes up and I have to interface with you, I may come on, but I am not making it into a weekly program. All right. So if necessity would have dictated for us to come on before the end of the month, we will do so. But for now, we will have a monthly program instead of weekly. All right. So I know you will miss us, Curly, but we will interface. I know you're in the WhatsApp group, and we will share with you nevertheless. All right. So I hope you will understand. That's Curly Hines, parent. She have a child in grade 8, I believe, and also a past student. Good. Any other comment? Any other question there, Sir Chambers? We can take it now as we approach the end of another Principals Hour. Just want to reiterate some of the things that I would have mentioned. Online classes resume tomorrow. There was a break from Wednesday. You know that Ash Wednesday, usually it's a midterm break. And then usually the days followed Ash Wednesday is usually midterm. So teachers will be back tomorrow for online classes. Your students, you're asked to mark your names at 8 with your form teachers. Usually those, usually registration is done via WhatsApp. So you need to indicate to your teachers that you're present, and then you need to go to your classes based on your timetable. Now, by now, you should be familiar with Google Classroom. I don't think I should have any student or parent who are still not au fait and understanding Google Classroom. But if you still do, you know you can reach out to us and we will assist you. But by now, I think we would have gotten a knack of using Google Classrooms. So you would go to your classes. I know that times it's challenging to get on, but we are saying make the sacrifices so that the teacher will be there. Yes, it is their job, so they must be there. Not should, they must be there. And therefore, we're asking the students to make the same effort to be there so that the teachers can impart whatever knowledge that they have for you. Face-to-face will resume tomorrow as well, but only for grades 11, 12, and 13. And we're asking students to follow their timetable and to come to school whenever they are assigned, not before, all right? Because you will be let on the compound at your assigned time. Please wear your mask to school. For those who live close to school, we're asking you to walk to school. Yes, walk to school. Exercise is good for you as well. Try not to take the taxi if you don't have to. I know that there are some of my students who live far from school, like Brandon Hill and Mesa River. It's not easy to walk from those areas. But if you live in Shooters and Good Hope, Jericho, Seven Ground, Kellett's Bottom, those areas, you can always walk to school because you have ample time to do so, and you will reduce the risk of contaminating this virus. When you're on the compound, we ask you to wear your mask. There are some no mask zones that we would have um, designed just for you to take your mask break. So if you have to take a mask break, you go to those no mask zones, take your mask break, and you go back to the classes with your mask. You see, it is a new phenomenon. You know, persons refer to it as the new normal. I don't know how long this new normal will remain, and it is best if we accept it. It is best if we work with the health professionals. It is best if we follow the factual news rather than the fake news. And I think we will get over this if we do that. But if we still remain ignorant, we still believe that COVID is not real, we still believe that is white man who want to kill out the population, and all the different theories that are out there. If we believe those, then we will remain ignorant and we will do the wrong thing, and the positivity rate will continue to increase, and we will force to close school face to face, and the list goes on. So we're saying, please, please listen to all the warnings, all the recommendations, and implement them so that we can remain as safe as possible. All right. Coming up Friday is Jamaica Day. So we're asking students who are online to wear their Jamaican colors. For those who will be coming to school, wear your Jamaican colors and let us observe that day. Also, the SBA and IA students, you need to take this serious. If you have not started your SBA, you're way behind, and you need to do so immediately. Find your teachers, get some help, because if you don't do your SBA, you will receive an ungraded score, and that means that you would fail the exam. All right. And the last thing I mentioned, as it relates to Principals Hour, starting next month, we will be having a monthly show instead of weekly. We are doing some rebranding, and we continue to explore options and to see what is best for this program. It is pretty new. It's about 6 months old. So we are still looking to see how best we can sustain it as we go along. It is basically to interface and to educate and to bring to your awareness what is happening at your beloved Kellett's High School. All right. So those were the things that I would have looked at. Any questions? We have about 5 minutes to go. Any more questions, Sir Chambers? My hardworking producer. I know that sometimes he's tired, but he still made the sacrifice to make this program relevant and to see to it that we bring to stakeholders the operations of his alma mater as well. You know, it is both of us alma mater. I left there before him. I think he left about, it's about, I left there 95. I think he left there about 98. I think he will tell me soon. I'm not sure, but I know that he loves his school dearly. And both of us, we're trying to give back and trying to make our school the #1 school in Clarendon, and indeed Jamaica. All right. So I'm 98. I think it's 98 he left. So he would be my junior, but very, very hardworking when it comes on to technology. He's a guru. He knows just about everything as it relates to technology. I am the man who comes before the camera and talks still, but he's the person behind the scene and make this program a success. So I want to thank him wholeheartedly, and I know that he's doing this without any compensation. I am not getting any either, but we try to make sure that we highlight what is happening at Kelly's High School, and this program will definitely remain as long as we are there. All right, few minutes to go. Any more questions as we bring the wrap on another Principals Hour? All right. Any more questions there? Any more comments? My viewers are quiet today. What happened? They're not on today. Hope you're not getting tired of us. But I hope that you're there listening. You can give us your comments at this time to indicate that you're hearing us or you heard us and you are very much appreciative of what we're doing right here at Kelly's High School. All right. So as we wrap up for another week, so we won't be back on here until March let me find the date. So the last Sunday in March is actually the 28th. So the 28th of March, by then we should have a lot of stuff to discuss with you. All right. I hope by then you will be around. We're saying please keep safe. Please do what you need to do. Please get your children online. Whatever resources that you need to, please make the sacrifices. If you need assistance, you know you can come to school and seek it so that we can help our children to achieve their God-given potential. During this time, there are a lot of children who are suspected of not getting enough learning materials for them to adjust and to move on in society. And that is why we're asking you to play your part. Help us. We're still putting out a plug there for persons who want to assist us to assist children. So if you want to donate tablets or laptops or credit or any form of gadget, we're asking you to reach out to us as well. Also want to pick up Mr. Grant, Alistair Grant. It was because of his initiative why we were able to broadcast using StreamYard.com. It is not free. We have to pay for this app. But because of our generous donation from our past student, Alistair Grant, we were able to pay for this app using his kind donation. So we continue to applaud those past students who continue to contribute to the school. There are several of them. I would have highlighted them over the many weeks that we would have been on here. And I also want to pick them up and say to the others to come on board so that we can help Kelly's High School to evolve and to be that school of choice. I was talking to the education officer the other day, and I was wondering why some schools can get a lot of students. And she was telling me that when the students are choosing the schools, so when they are doing their selection for school choices, the schools that they put 1 to 3, so they would have probably about 6, I don't know how many choices, but they would have a number of schools to choose: first choice, second choice, third, fourth, and so on. The schools that they put in the top 3, those schools will get their numbers. First, to say Clarendon College requested 300 students, because a lot of parents would put Clarendon College, they would get their first choice. Yes, so we need more parents to put Kelly's High as their first or second choice, because what we find out is that a lot of parents are asking for transfer, and this process takes a lengthy while. So we're asking parents, Kelly's High School is a good school, We are making serious strides. We would have highlighted those over the many weeks, and therefore I want to close by telling you that it is not the school that your child goes to, but is the behavior, the aptitude and attitude that would have demonstrated by your child that will determine the success for him or her. So Kelly's High School is here, right? Only school in Northern Clarendon. And we are asking you to make wise decisions as we seek to benefit your children. So thanks again, Mr. Chambers. Any well said, Princey. All right, and department. I know that you will miss us as well. I know you'll miss us. You are always on with us, and there are some viewers that I can categorically say that they are waiting for 5 o'clock each Sunday to listen to yours truly. And I want to thank you wholeheartedly for investing in this program and tuning into us. I know you have other places to be, you have other programs to tune into, but I believe because you have the interest and you want to see your high school in your community move to higher heights. We are raising the bar at Kelly's High School, and we are very much thankful to have you on board. So, if no other questions, no other comments, Mr. Chambers, I think we have completed that 1 hour. Want to thank you all again for tuning in. And next time we will be on here is the last Sunday, that's the 28th of March. If anything changes, we will update you with the Facebook page and our WhatsApp pages. So we want to thank you for tuning into us and to make the sacrifices. We thank you again, and please keep safe. Wear your mask, do your sanitization, wash your hands, keep your 6 feet distance, and please continue to remain safe during this difficult period. God bless you, and look forward to see you next time. Take care.